Hey everybody, we're gonna do a little recording today. And you know what? If we mess up, I'm not gonna blame it on me. I'm gonna blame it on my class because they're helping me with this recording today. We're gonna be talking about identity function transformations. All right. So we got this funky looking graph right here. And what we have to do is we got to figure out what the heck is going on here. It says, what is the formula of G in terms of f? G in terms of f. So it says f is the blue line, g is the dotted line. So when we're looking at this guy, what is the formula of g in terms of f? So which one has been transformed? Has f been transformed or g been transformed? What do you guys think? Well, g is the transformation of f. See, g is a transformation of f. So this is, think of this. This is the new and this is the old. Okay? This is the new and that's the old. So if we look at this right here, all right, what do you see is possibly happening in the graph? Like, for example, do these share the same x value right there? They do, don't they? Okay. Do they share the same x value here and like right up there? Whoa, didn't mean to do that. So something's happening. All right, right there. They share the same x value. But what's happening to our y values? They're changing, right? They're changing. So these x values are the same, but the y values are changing. So let's look at this. Ready? So I'm going to put an ordered pair. This is an ordered pair for G, okay? And then I'll go ahead and change the color to blue because since it's kind of a blue graph, okay? What's the ordered pair for F? What would you guys say that ordered pair is for F right there? -6 and 4. And what about for G? What's our ordered pair like way up there? -6, 8. So here the x values are staying the same. Huh. So would you guys agree? This is the new, and this is the original. I'll call it the old, just like I am. All right. Does anybody remember how to find a scale if given the new and the old? Just take the new and divide it by the old. What's our new value? What's the y value? 8. What's the old y value? 4. What's 8 divided by 4? 2. Now, listen, I want you guys to understand the y values. Ready? The y values have been scaled by 2. So does anybody know if I said g of x equals something and we're transforming f of x, what happened to our y values? They were multiplied by 2. And I need you guys to understand that's what this means. That means all of your y values have been multiplied by 2. Okay? So if you're unsure of like what that means, let's go to Desmos and we'll just make a graph right now. So in Desmos, make a graph with me, please. Now, if you're watching this video, you can always fast forward it. Okay? My class would love to be able to fast forward me so they won't have to listen. Okay. Would you guys agree that's kind of similar to our graph right there? It's not the exact same graph, but it's similar. Look what happens if I type in f, or g of x, right? G of x equals 2 times f of x. Hopefully you guys can see, even though it's kind of hard to really multiply that, hopefully you guys can see that these points have been doubled. The x values have stayed the same, but the y values have been doubled. Like double this number is this number right there. And that's what's happening in our graph. Our y values have been doubled. So what's this y value? This y value is at a, all right, so it was at a 1, now it's at a 2. Okay, so you can see these y values have also been doubled. So what's the strategy? What would you guys say the strategy? I'm going to pause and see what the students say for my strategy is, so they told me we got to first look at 2 points and then compare them and see whether the x values are the same or the y values are the same. Here you can see the y values are being multiplied by 2. So that's what I'm looking for. So here, let's go to my, oh, there's Pebble Beach. That's nice. Let's see here, where are we at? Oh, there we go, that one. So g of x is 2 times f of x. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Whoa, interesting. All right, so this one's a little bit trickier. So how about this? What if you guys looked at this point right there, and let me compare this point right here. So all I want you guys to do is give me the ordered pair for f. What's the ordered pair for f? That point right there. 4 and a what? 3. What's the ordered pair for g? -10, +3. So here, these are our x values, these are our y values. What do you guys notice about those 2 points? X is changing, but y is the same. Would you guys, this is called this has been scaled horizontally. So this is how you can tell if something's been scaled horizontally. The last one we did was scaled vertically. Okay, so this has been scaled horizontally because some things happen with the x values, but the y values are staying the same. So would you guys agree this is the new and that's the old? Okay, all right. So let's check this out. What's the new ordered pair? -10, right? Over what's the old? 4, right? If I multiply those together, or not multiply, divide those, okay, what's -10 divided by 4? Would you guys agree that's like -5 over 2? So it's been scaled by a -5 over 2. Now there's something you guys need to understand about the scale and horizontally. It's 1 over the b value is 1 over b is equal to what's been scaled, which this ends up being what? -5 over 2. So if 1 over b equals -5 over 2, what do you guys think the b value is going to be if we did this little cross multiply? Yeah, -2/5. Okay, -2. So we're looking for a b value of -2/5. So let's say you're like, I have no idea what you just did. If we cross multiply right there, if we cross multiply, you get -5b equals 1 times 2, which is 2. And then you divide both sides by -5. And you get -2/5. So guys, would you guys agree this is a quadratic right here? That's quadratic. So let's just kind of test it. What I'm going to do, let's say we built this quadratic right here. How much has that been shifted over? About 4 units to the right and 3 units up. So go to Desmos real quick. We're going to go over to Desmos. We're going to build a quadratic. We're going to shift it 4 units to the right. And we're going to shift it 3 units up. And then right here, I'm going to put -2 divided by 5 right there. Does everybody see how similar our situation is when we type in -2 divided by 5 right there? Look what happens if you guys would have not done -2 divided by 5, but changed it to -5 over 2. Look. Whoa! Would you guys agree that if I multiply that by -5 over 2, it's more narrow. So this lets me know that we found our b value the right way. Everybody can find the a value. That's what I found. I found everybody can pretty much find the a value. But look, I went from a what? A 4 to a what? Negative 10. Went from a 4 to a negative 10. What did ours do? We went from a what? A 4 to a negative 10. So we did the same thing. We just kind of used Desmos to kind of figure out did we do it correctly or didn't do it correctly. So this has been scaled horizontally by negative 5 over 2. But what was our b value? Negative 2/5. So how do we write this? Ready? So here's why we write this. G of x equals f of negative 2/5 of x. That's how we write it. Because this is our b value. Even though it was scaled by negative 5 over 2, like the x values are scaled by negative 5 over 2, we have to write it this way. Why? Because you always have to write 1 over b when it's scaled horizontally. That's probably the most important thing that you're going to need to know about scaling things horizontally is the scale factor is 1 over b. It's not just the b value. All right, see if we can find it. Let's see here. By the way, did I even look at the answer choices before I started this? I don't think I did. So they're saying negative 3 and negative 1/3. By the way, that's not even one of the answer choices. So what do you think they're telling us? That we couldn't even find the point over there, could we? Like we used a point, but maybe that wasn't the point that we needed to use. So knowing that we use a couple of points, which one do you think best fits our scenario? Negative 1/3. We got negative 2/5, but we're going to choose negative 1/3 because in our scenario, that's the best answer. Okay? All right, let's take a look at this one. Now we got a couple of easy ones. This one won't take long at all. What's that point right there? Got a what? A 3 and a 2. Then it's right there. What's that ordered pair? Negative 3 and a 2. Right? What happened to our graph? How would you guys describe that? Right? So would you guys say it went to the left 6 units? So whenever it's to the left 6 units, it's always going to be in parentheses, and we put x plus 6. Now, why is it x plus 6? Because what number would we have to plug in to make it equal to 0? Negative 6. So that's what we're going to be looking for. So our formula is going to be this. G of x equals f, open parentheses, x plus 6. That means 6 units to the left. If I wanted to do 6 units right, what would I write? F parentheses, x minus 6. That would be 6 units to the right. So we're looking for this one. Okay. All right, how about this? What does this one mean? Down 6, right? What does that mean? 6 units right. That's our answer. What does this mean? Up 6. Okay. So these are just basic things you guys need to know when you're going to need those for a test. Okay. All right. So here's our last problem right here. Last problem. Let's take a look. Would you guys agree that these look very similar in shape? Okay. Do they look like they've been stretched vertically or horizontally? Mm-mm. So what do? We look for this point right here, and we look at this point right here. And remember, we're looking for what? G in terms of f. This is the old graph. This is the new. So what would you guys say happened? It goes up this amount of units, right? So we would say g of x equals f of x. And where are we at right there? -2. Where are we at right there? 3. So how much did it go up? A total of 5. And that's why we choose that answer. So you're going to get a left, right. You're going to get an up or down. You're going to get one that's scaled vertically and one that's scaled horizontally. So those are going to be the 4 transformations. You're going to get probably one of each. You could get a scale factor of a fraction or an integer, depending on which question. Okay. So right now, and don't do a silly. Would you guys agree somebody could easily choose this one right here? Because it's still a gap of 5. But like, well, how do I know which one to choose? It says write the formula of G in terms of F. This one went up 5 units. Okay. So you have to really trust your process when you compare your ordered pairs. Figure out, does it go up, down, left, right, or are the x values, if we go back real quick, let's take a look at these. Where am I? There we go. Sorry. So here, pay very close attention. If the y values stay the same, that means it's scaled horizontally. If the x values stay the same, that means it's scaled vertically. Okay, so you got to make sure you know that.